So, identifying success. How do we do it? Well, in terms of social media, we have to identify the tool or the channel that we're currently using. We also need to identify the methods available to us through that tool or channel. So for example, if we take the National Career Service P2L page, or the Careers P2L page, this is a page that I personally am in charge of at work. I'm responsible for its growth and development. Now, the way I measure success on this particular page, the first way and the main way, I use analytics, I use numbers. The main two numbers I use is the likes. Likes of a Facebook page are the amount of people who actively follow that page to be able to see its content daily. The second number I look at is the post reach. Now, this shows the post reach we've had in a week. Post reach is how many individual people our posts have reached. So, this week we've reached 20,023 individual people. Now, the other things we can do is we can also look at insights on Facebook. It shows us further analytics, it shows us more detail. It gives us total page likes. Now this compares our page to the other pages that represent the National Career Service in the North East, and it shows that our total page likes are higher than the other pages. We have the most successful Facebook page. Other ways we can measure success is here is a graph of how many people we've reached during a week. So on this particular day we reached 16,000 people, which is great. On the other days, not so many. These insights essentially have a lot of detail that we can take, and we can measure success depending on what we're looking for. Now, on other formats, we use we use numbers. They're just the different ways. There's different ways to say what these numbers are. So on Twitter we have followers. So our Twitter page has 579 followers at the moment. That's essentially the same as likes on our Facebook page. Our main National Career Service YouTube page, we can see that again we can measure this by numbers, but again they are different. So subscribers again is the same as likes on Facebook. It's how many people are actively looking to see this channel's content every day. We can also take the amount of views from each video, so we can see there 13,000 views on that video. Now, another way I like to measure success is by looking at individual posts and seeing which posts were the most successful. An example here, vacancies at Dalton Park. I posted this last week. It reached 19,491 people. It's the most successful post that we've had on this page. Now, I usually measure this success. I take the number of people reached, I take the number of likes we have, and if we have even at least half the amount of people reached on a post as we do likes on our page, I'm usually happy. I usually think that's successful. Now, in this case, almost 20,000 people reached. That's several times the amount of likes we have. Remember, we have 709 likes at the moment. This post was hugely successful and hugely beneficial to our page. It brought in almost 150 of our likes. Another example is this one that reached 20,000, almost 12,000 people. It was commented on 41 times. Now, this allows these two posts and a third one that was also a vacancy, and that was also it reached around 10,000 people. Those three posts are the three most successful posts this page has had, and they also allow me to identify what works well on my page. Now, from these three posts, I've managed to identify that the local people around Peterlee want to know when there are job opportunities and training opportunities available, but especially job opportunities, and especially ones that are in Peterlee or very local to Peterlee. With Peterlee having a high rate of unemployment, and the Hartlepool, Seaham, Hordern, the surrounding towns all having high levels of unemployment, this shows me that posts like this that show local job vacancies will work the best. So not only do these numbers allow me to measure success, but they also allow me to make strategies in the future. An example of how we've put strategies into play is after this particularly successful post, I identified that job vacancies, local job vacancies may work well, and here we can see a local vacancy in Seaham worked really well, reached 4,000 people, and another local vacancy in Dalton Park reached almost 7,000 people.